That timing though. Hello, hello. Welcome. Excited to see y'all. Gonna have a little bit of a astrological weather update before we get started because that was what Spirit was really hammering home for me this morning. Beautiful cameo by Isis over here. Okay, so we talked about Saturn entering Aries, right? And now we just had Jupiter enter the sign of Cancer. Aries and Cancer are the water and fire cardinal signs, respectively. That cardinal quality is about initiation. It's about the get up and go. It's about creating something, initiating something. Now, when two planets, especially two planets with such very different attitudes, Jupiter, growth, expansion, luck, let's go for it, let's explore, let's go for an adventure. Saturn, let's make a plan. We need a map. Don't go so fast. We need to take this slow. We need to go step by step. We need to make sure it's safe, right? So there is, as you can imagine, a little bit of an argument, a square between those energies. We also have Neptune in Aries conjunct Saturn. So Neptune is also squaring Jupiter. We have another big square, Mars square Uranus. There's a theme here about the wise application of forces, about using patience. There's tremendous potential, Jupiter, Neptune, to make your dreams a reality, to concretize them, right? Crystallize them. That's Saturn. But if you are impatient, if you are cutting corners, if you're skipping steps, if you are staying in the dreaming phase more than the putting your hands in the clay and seeing what you can make with what you have phase, this energy can be like, oh, it dissipated. And it can feel incredibly tense and frustrating. So, tremendous potential, and don't get ahead of yourself. Stay present, stay mindful. Saturn is always going to counsel us to stay right here. Saturn in Aries, so much new, fresh start. I've never been this brave or this bold or this self-piloted before. There's potential for all kinds of beautiful energy like that. And remind yourself to pace yourself. Mars square Uranus is really calling for the energy's in the air. We can all feel it. There's this call for revolution, right? Because Uranus is revolutionary. Mars is action, energy, anger, and even war, right? So there's this urge to create progress, and let us take this step by step. Whatever it is that you're trying to have, or the revolution that you're creating in your life, hint, look at your birth chart. Look at where Neptune and Saturn are conjunct in your chart. Which house, right? Look at where Mars and Uranus are. Which parts of your chart are arguing with each other and need to kind of cooperate together a little bit more. Okay. Big potential, take your time. Massive, again, ability to turn your dreams into reality. This just spat out of the deck. Six of Cups, dreams, being like a child, being open, being innocent, and believing that amazing things can happen. That's very Jupiter and Neptune. And then Saturn says, yes, and now put the pencil to the paper. Put the feet to the track if it's about working out or whatever it is. Begin now with what you have now. You might want more. You might long for, oh, I would love some support. Get started with what you have right now, and the universe will come through to support you. When you start pushing the wheel, Spirit comes behind and starts pushing with you. But they're not going to shove things into your lap, generally speaking. You know what I'm saying? Because this is your experiment. Okay. Let's get into the day-by-day forecast for the upcoming week. We'll pull a card for how we're doing today and know what sets us up for the best week possible. Spirit, we are always tuning in for the truth, for the highest good of everyone who tunes into this reading. Spirit, there is a beautiful math, an intersection and through line that brings us all together. Please tap into it with your high, loving, wise perspective. and help us root into what brings us the best possible options for peace, abundance, fulfillment. Help us make the right choices. Help us notice the signs, Spirit. Please show us the truth of the vibe of the upcoming week. What is the feel of the wavelength? Tuesday. Wednesday. Thursday. What's the vibe? Friday, Saturday. All right, let's see what we got here. Hey. Dreams. Dreams. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. What if this week has quite a dramatic turn to it. Okay. Beautiful card. First card up, the card for today. 4 of Wands. There's us all hanging out here together. But beyond that, this is about feeling celebrated, supported. Happy Father's Day to my fathers out there. This is being surrounded by the people who feel like family and really feeling like happy homecoming, really feeling safe, really feeling supported. And I love to see that when Spirit is talking about, Jupiter square Saturn and things like that. It's like the abundance and the container. I'm going to use that phrase that Spirit has been using again, like break the pot, like growing your roots so healthy and beautiful and fat that there's no other choice but to get placed into a new beautiful container. So I feel like you're really enjoying and thriving inside of your container today. Also a good day to Spirit is saying with this Saturnian Saturn Jupiter energy where they're interacting together, gratitude is medicine. And gratitude for what is right here, right now, and what is so good in this moment is actually, ironically, key to expanding and broadening the moment and having more possibilities and more things come to you. You know what I'm saying? So 4 of Wands is saying, look around and celebrate the people and the place that you love and that gives you so much. Really beautiful launch pad for the day before we get into the work week, right? So first day of the work week, Monday, 7 of Cups. Spirit was talking about dreams, and they're actually using the word squander. I haven't thought of or heard that word in a little while. 7 of Cups. The waters are a little muddy. There are so many dreams and options that it becomes difficult to even discern what is what I really want, what is really accessible to me in this moment, what might be 3 or 6 months or years down the line. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like an embarrassment of riches. Spirit is saying that a lot of people who get this card, it's like you're very creative and you're very intelligent. And it's giving a little bit of like ADHD vibes, where it's like, well, I could do this, but I could do this, and I like this, and this is fun, and I could maybe do that, and that, I'm good at this, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. There is the potential on Monday to squander some of this really powerful energy when, Jupiter and Saturn are going to stay in this square for a little while, but right now it's exact, right? They are in those first initial degrees of the cardinal signs, Aries and Cancer. So it's like things are really, this is a pivot point. This is a time, this is a hinge in your life. So I would say going into tomorrow, if there is something that you dream of doing, don't put it off till the next day, right? That's kind of 7 of Cups energy. Like, yeah, I'm really going to start this new writing practice or workout routine or whatever starting tomorrow. And then something always happens tomorrow. Do you notice, right? And you can push it further and further. So I want to say, root into the dream that you most want to make come true in this moment. It's not that you have to get rid of your all 7 cups, right? And say, no, I can only have one dream ever. No, but it is, Saturn squaring Jupiter. Jupiter says, let's go for it all. And Saturn says, you're not going to be able to do that. I'm here to make sure that the thing that you do go for, that you actually, cross all of your T's and dot all of the I's, and everything is on a stable foundation. And if you rush, when we come around to that next square or that opposition, it's going to be a problem. So take it slow, be mindful, work with what is here rather than getting lost in the realm of ideas and possibilities. Spirit's like, move from possibilities to probabilities. That's moving a little bit more into the healthy version of the Saturn and Jupiter thing. What would probably help me move forward the most, get the most joy, whatever it is that you are looking for in your 7 cups. Many dreams, but you could get lost if you don't specify. Okay? Narrow your focus, deepen your satisfaction. Okay? Okay. Tuesday. I said that this week has a kind of dramatic flow to it and a dramatic turnaround, so wait for it. Tuesday. 5 of Pentacles. Aren't we all tightening our belts in this era, right? But 5 of Pentacles is not just about the potential of like actually not having enough and having to work through it. 5 of Pentacles, the phrase that Spirit is using is about also like a poverty of spirit. And let me explain that. I mean, being surrounded, like having the roof over your head and, the safe, happy home, the friends or the family or the people that love you. And we all know people that have lots and somehow they still feel like they don't have enough, or the world has cheated them out of something, or, kind of like a woe is me. And that's kind of the vibe of the 5 of Pentacles. So some of us might just be literally feeling a financial pinch on that day of like, damn, I just paid all my bills and like, this is what I have left to survive on. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling tired of it. These are general readings. So Spirit's showing me a few things. Some of us, it's just that pinch and that tightening the belt. And it's like, oh God, long suffering, right? Some of us, it's the other thing that they were talking about where it's like, hey, you actually have a whole lot and the potential for a whole lot more. So please don't tell yourself that I'm all alone. This is all I have. Nobody sees me. Nobody will help me. That's kind of a vibe of the 5 of Pentacles. So don't tell yourself that you're stuck when really the other thing about the 5 of Pentacles is it's a card that says there is actually help available if you are willing to look up and look around and ask for it. And that is risky, right? That's vulnerable. So sometimes it can feel, the 5 of Pentacles is actually extremely Saturnian. I have to do it all by myself. It's all on me. It's all on my shoulders. It's very heavy, like very weighty card. And when I look at the 5s, 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, etc., they to me are like tests. Like, yes, this is a tough moment. And like right next to this is a tough moment, or you might experience an interaction today that puts you in a tough space or a space where you feel like you're going without. And we have the choice to lean into or lean out of that frame of mind, because getting into that frame of mind, I think we've all been there, where it's a little bit of, I'm going to use the phrase pity party, and I'm not making fun of anybody. I've thrown some supreme pity parties my fucking self, okay? But we can throw ourselves a little bit of a pity party, and those of us who have been there, we know that that's kind of hard to climb out of, right? Like, once you get into a mood, it's a little bit like, oh man, now I got to dredge myself up out of the mud pit. So I say, count your blessings. Count your blessings. Use Monday to seize what is here to begin building your dream, or begin putting your dream life into action in whatever way is possible right here, right now, so that you are already ahead of the game by like, I count my blessings. I tap my resources. I do have resources, even if it's not $1 million in the bank. I have a good friend. I have free readings and all kinds of advice and how-tos and all this stuff available to me on the internet, right? If I'm lacking something, I can probably find something to help me, even if it's not the exact thing that I want. You know what I'm saying? Saturn awards that kind of scrappiness, that kind of resourcefulness, okay? So keep your resources in mind. and tap them. Ask for help. Do not tell yourself that you have to do it all by yourself and all alone. And Spirit is saying, like, don't be the strong friend. That's something that I'm hearing. So some of you might be that strong kind of stoic friend that's like, I'm here for everybody else, and I actually don't even know how to let people be there for me. You know what I'm saying? Some of you might vibe with that. And I want to gently guide you to test whether you can let people be there for you, even a little bit, even just to say, yeah, you know what, it was a hard day, rather than I'm good. And that's kind of what I'm hearing. Okay, so if that's you, maybe just open up to these people and get the support that you need. Okay, so Wednesday, the test continues. The Five of Pentacles followed by the Five of Cups. You know, these are collective readings, so we're talking about the energy that is affecting everyone sort of the same way that if we look at the new and full moons, if we look at astrology, right, there is going to be a different way that this overarching energy is affecting everyone, right? Hey, hey, Al Capone, welcome, welcome. There are things going on in the collective that are sad, that tighten our belt, that make us quote unquote focus on the negative or what's not working or what is lacking. And that is super fucking normal. So nobody's telling you like, fucking buck up, buttercup, stiff upper lip. No. But I am saying there is more available to you than you might be recognizing in your very understandable mood, right? Out in the cold. That's the vibe of the Five of Pentacles. Five of Cups is, I feel like I've lost something. I'm mourning. This did not go the way that I wanted to. Fundamentally, 3 of my cups are empty. And, come back to Jupiter square Uranus, I still have 2 full, beautiful cups. All these juicy grapes in my life. A lot like what Spirit was saying here, right? Where it's like, yes, this is really hard. And when things are hard, that's the time to ask for the help that I need, whatever that looks like. And Spirit is saying food bank. Okay? So for those of us that might be struggling financially, it's like those are the kinds of resources that maybe you've never tapped into them before. Maybe you've like feel afraid or ashamed. Don't. Everybody needs help at some point, and you should have no compunction, no hesitation, no shame about needing help. It's normal. Please ask for the help that you need if you need it. You know, midweek, 5 of Cups. It's not Friday yet, but we're about to have a very dramatic turn in this reading. I said that we're at the exact point, right, of Jupiter square Saturn, and that means also Jupiter square Neptune because it's conjunct Saturn, and we also have Mars square Uranus. That's very fives of the tarot energy. Tension and challenges that sort of force us to make a change. That's the point of squares, right? Sometimes when I talk about squares in astrology, I talk about imagine you and another person trying to move like a really big, bulky couch up a narrow apartment stairway. You cannot change the dimensions of the stairway. You have to maneuver and pivot and like make some creative adjustments to the way that you're doing it in order to get through it, okay? So the creative change comes from the inside in response to whatever this challenge is. So I'm going to guide you, as always, that whatever the world is showing to you, it's not trying to beat you down. It's not trying to say you can't have what you want. It is trying to bring your awareness to something so that you can make an adjustment, and you will see that adjustment filter into what is happening to you in the outside world. If you deal with an emotionally draining, leeching, you know, a narcissistic parent or a coworker that you can't get away from that is like consistently draining your energy or whatever it is, you have the right and the need to say, put up a boundary. To sit there and continue to take it and be like, see, like nobody ever helps me, nobody sees me, and yet, but I keep letting this person leech off of me. I keep letting this person overstep my boundaries, and then I feel resentful toward myself. That feels even fucking worse, right? So better to let this person feel a little bit resentful of me, to put up my boundary, than to feel resentful toward myself. And that's kind of the vibe that Spirit is giving me with the 5 of Cups, because nothing hurts more than when we know that we fucked it up. You know what I mean? There's like a certain amount of like clean pain when somebody screws us over. But when we are involved somehow where I shot myself in the foot or I sabotaged this or I wish that I hadn't done or said that, that feels like shit. So here's your yellow light. Here's your yellow light to count your blessings, to lean on your friends, to ask for what you need. Okay? So that you don't feel like you have to go without and you don't feel like you have to be the strong friend or soldier onward. Okay? Now, a dramatic turn, appropriately on Thursday, Thor's Day, Jupiter Day. It's a theme in the reading, okay? You are not going to go without forever. Five of Pentacles turns right around into a Ten of Pentacles, and we're not done yet. We're not done with the bright, big, beautiful cards to finish out the week, okay? Ten of Pentacles. Not only have I counted my blessings, I have found them so abundant that I'm realizing how I can share them. And that is something that I'm hearing. So, you know, it's a beautiful thing that sometimes, like, the most beautiful souls in the world, it's those that go through those extremely hard things. And instead of sort of understandably becoming Scrooge-ish or cagey emotionally, they go the opposite direction. And it's like, damn, I went through poverty, or I went through abuse, or I went through bullying, and I want to be the complete opposite energy in the world. I'm going to use this challenge to rise to it and become an even better, bigger, bolder, more expansive, that's what I'm hearing, version of myself. And Jupiter is all about expansion, and specifically spiritual expansion, right? And expansion and contraction go together. Spirit's talking about, you know how stars are born? There's a contraction, there's an expansion. You know how babies are born? There's a contraction, there's an expansion. Jupiter and Saturn, really incredible things can be born. Spirit's like, oh my God, they're so punny. If it can be born, then it will be born. B-O-R-N-E. Like, if you can bear it, then it can be born. Okay? That's just what they're saying. So if you can bear it and learn what you're meant to learn from it in order to give birth to your dreams and your desires and your abundance, then you're going to do great under this square. Okay? And if you sit and wait for the universe to drop things in your lap, you will be disappointed. Okay? That's just the nature of these things. If it was a different, you know, it's Jupiter sextile Venus, yay, things are just flowing, right? But this is not that. This is, you have something incredible that you want to build. You have an incredible dream that you want to see grow and crystallize in the real world. And this is prime time to fucking do that. But recognize that that comes with challenges. And those challenges are not there to stop you. They're there to improve you. No friction without traction, or sorry, no traction without friction, right? What is it that, you know, smooth seas do not create skilled sailors? This is that vibe. You can become an extremely skilled sailor through the challenges of this week and recognize actually, again, how abundant you are. All that you have to give. And Spirit is saying something very specific, which is for some of you, it's like you have literally something like entrepreneurial or something that you dream of doing. It's like, I have a podcast I want to make, or I have a book I want to write, or I have this that I want to create and share. The potential to gain abundance comes from sharing your abundance. Okay? So it's all about flow, like the water cycle. You can't just hoard and expect for more to pile up. That's not how it's going to work. Eventually the trickle stops, right? So become aware of how abundant you are, celebrate that, and then share that, and then watch how it flows back in and flows back in and flows back in. Friday, celebrate. These right next to each other, one after the other, pretty fucking powerful. Thursday and Friday look like great days where it's not only do your cups and your coins runneth over, it's also your joy, your satisfaction, a sense of security. And Spirit is saying that Saturn is all about security from the inside out. Anything that doesn't have a firm foundation can ultimately be shaken apart. You know, like things can be going really well, things are stacking, things are growing, and then there's, you know, a hard moment of weather or a hard moment in the stock market or whatever, right? Metaphors. It can take that shit out because there was no firm foundation underneath. So don't be looking for get rich quick, and don't be looking for like immediate wins. Invest in long-term success, and you will feel like you will feel that it's happening. I'm feeling like on Friday there's this like Spirit is playing the song I'm Walking on Sunshine, right? Like just this feeling of like, how did this happen? And it's this total turnaround. And has anybody else realized the repeating symbolism here? Oh no, I have nothing. Oh wait, I have a lot. Oh no, it's all gone. Actually, this is way more than I ever thought that I could have. So, all is certainly not lost if you go through a disappointment or a difficult time in the middle of the week. It turns all the way around. And Saturday, I think that you ought to be proud of yourself. Strength. This is about your inner power. I feel that some of you are going to pass these 5 tests with flying colors. Like, for example, I was talking about this, I'm feeling this leeching, or, you know, if any of you have watched the show or the movie What We Do in the Shadows, the energy vampire, where it's just somebody who, even if they're not being evil and malicious and terrible, it's just they drain your fucking life force. They just suck your life force away. And Spirit is like, you have this potential to rise to the occasion. And when this person, and this is just the way that Spirit is giving it to me, okay? So this is very specific and this doesn't apply to everybody, but you will probably see shades of this in your life. For some people, this is like, I'm really hearing like a narcissistic parent, right? So by definition, someone who is narcissistic is not even really able to perceive that other people have emotions and other people have needs and like other people have whole lives outside of them. They think they're the sun and everything revolves around them, right? That kind of person, especially when there's someone important to you, like a significant other, a mother, a family member, a best friend, whatever, it can really put you into this state getting around that person because you wish that you were getting something from them that you're not. Spirit is like, if you will stand for yourself, if you will not let people cross your boundaries that, again, can lead to that resentment of self, you're going to be feeling very rich and very powerful by the end of this week. Here's you getting with the part of you that wants to rip other people to pieces or wants to rip yourself to pieces. I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did this. I messed up. I did whatever. Or I can't believe they did this. I'm never going to be seen. I'm never going to be appreciated. And those are ways we tear ourselves apart, right? This is a card of getting with the parts of yourself that want to rip yourself or other people to pieces and communing with it in such a way that you guys can work in tandem and work toward the same goals. So instead of one part of you maybe going wild and lashing out at somebody, you are working totally integrated. And so yes, maybe you need to establish a really firm boundary with this person and there's some heat behind it. But when you are working with yourself in tandem, you will say it in such a way that they feel it and they will not try to cross your boundary. Versus if you lash out, Spirit is saying, with these kind of people, it's like giving them ammunition. Oh, see, you always say such hurtful things to me. I can't believe that you would call me that. I can't believe that you would say that you can't help me. So the more equanimous, peaceful, hey, Fernando, the more in your power you are, the better you are going to do this week. Okay? So when the tests come, please try to think of them as little nods from the universe. Like, okay, you're ready for this. You're ready to try this again and do it in a different way and watch what fucking cool shit happens when you trust yourself, you believe in yourself, and you take the risk. Take the risk. Okay. That was your day-by-day forecast. I hope that that is helpful. Again, really marvelous turnaround in the energy of the week. Let's now get into some nitty-gritty and see what's up with the elements. First, caffeine. Okay. I'm hearing earth, so we will start with earth. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Ooh, Spirit. There is a through line, an elemental through line between all people who carry a strong earth archetype in their chart. We want to know how you would like to guide them this week, Spirit. What theme do you want to make them aware of for their highest good, okay? And how about, Spirit, when it comes to their own element, money, jobs, opportunities, and resources, okay? Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn when it comes to the mental realm, okay? And now the emotional, their feelings, Spirit, their connections. What kind of cups are the earth signs drinking from this week, okay? And finally, Spirit, I want to know about their fire, their spark, their creativity, their passion. What do you want to tell the earth signs? All right. What is worth it to you? A fairly earth sign kind of question. What is actually worthwhile in your life? What is a distraction? What is just a place where you kind of leak energy? Let me give you an example of leaking energy. Again, maybe the idea of getting on the phone with someone and it's like, whether that phone call was 5 minutes or 5 hours, when you hang up, it's like, oh my Lord Jesus, I don't know if I need a nap, a walk, to get into one of those rooms where you break shit with a sledgehammer, but like, I don't feel good. I feel pulled down. I feel that it's time to decide what still has a place in your life and what doesn't. Let's talk about it. So, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, what is dying in your life? What door are you about ready to shut behind you? Something might become very clear to you this week. I am going to hearken back to, in the weekly forecast, that 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Cups part of the week, because, spoiler alert, earth signs, you have a third 5. 5 of Swords, people who are being petty, people, I'm hearing a couple things. I'm also hearing people working behind the scenes and not in a good way. Spirit's given this to me a couple different ways. For some of you, this is something like, hey, are you catching wind of something at work where it's like, are you hearing that there could be layoffs? Are you getting the sense that things are like funky? I feel like there's a little bit of like unfair, manipulative energy in the air. And I don't want to fucking scare anybody. That's actually my least favorite thing. I want to arm you. I want to have you just, keeping your ears open for any kind of manipulative or behind the scenes energy that just feels a little funky. If it smells funky, it's funky. That's just what I'm fucking hearing. And if you've been here long enough to know, you know that I'm not here to stoke your paranoia or make you think that people are doing shit behind your back or anything like that. I feel that this is one of the things that needs to be put to death. I feel that this would not be the first time. That's kind of what I'm feeling. So it's like if somebody has the cheating partner and they've been feeling something funky, it's not the first time. So that's just what I'm hearing. And I'm really sorry to say that. I don't want that to be applying, and that is not for everybody. That is not for everybody. But 5 of Swords, somebody's being petty and somebody's trying to get away with something and get away with it off your back or off like your reputation or something to that effect. Keep things really above board. And I feel like, okay. I don't love this, but this is what Spirit is bringing up. When we are really winning in life, sometimes it is best to keep that to ourselves and our tight inner circle. And when I say tight inner circle, I mean really tight. I mean like this is a 3, and I'm talking about maybe like 3 people should know about that. What kind of wins am I talking about? I'm talking about like oh, you know, people who win the lottery, right? It's probably best that not everybody in the whole world knows that they just won the lottery, because people can get a little bit weird. People can get a little bit petty. People can get a little bit schemy. People can start to project weird shit onto you just because you're doing well at something, right? So winning some kind of contest or being recognized or getting a big raise. Oh, I don't like this. Spirit is like, some of you, it's like you get a big raise and your partner has an attitude. And it's like, what the fuck is that? Aren't we both going to benefit from this? Like, you're having petty, annoying feelings about the fact that like this other person is doing well. Just be on the lookout for that. And I want to say, do not engage. There's really nothing that can come of it. Five of Swords is like losing battles. It's like there's nothing to say to this person. There's no understanding or correction or compassion that is going to come from saying like whatever. There's like, I just feel like you don't really need to defend yourself from this. I feel like it's the thing that needs to be put to death. So curious how that rings for anybody, or if anybody knows what that is. I guess we'll find out. I have some strong earth placements myself. So looking at your money, your skills, your opportunities, you know, Spirit was saying at the beginning, what needs to be put to death? What's really working? What's really not? I like the way that they have this illustrated here. She's got two different plants. This one has sprouted up 5 pentacles. This one has only sprouted up 2. She's pondering. How is this working out for me? Am I getting enough returns from the work that I'm putting into this? And maybe, you know, do I want to put all of my energy over here into this Monstera plant because the snake plant isn't growing? Do I want to change things up? Maybe I don't want to put energy over here anymore. Maybe I don't want to put energy over here anymore. Maybe I want to take my ball and go home and celebrate with the people who celebrate me. So I do feel like keep the wins close to your chest. And I also feel with the 7 of Pentacles, take this newfound abundance or this win and consider again what really has a place in your life, what is worth working on and holding on to, and what have you potentially run into over and over again where it's like the same result, the same result, the same result. You have plenty of energy. You might be tired, but you have plenty of energy. Like this is, you've been working at something for an extremely long time. And I see you staying vigilant. Some of you, I'm hearing, are understandably not going to be willing to give up on the person that is kind of petty. And I understand that. You might be like, I'm married to this person, or that's my mom, or whatever. And you might have your reasons for not disengaging from that. I do feel for some of you, this is like, ooh, okay. Spirit is saying that for some of you, there's that 5 of Pentacles or 5 of Cups midweek, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of disappointment. And for some of you, Spirit is saying this is letting you know to stay vigilant and to not give up. That actually, yes, you feel a little beat up and a little tired, but you are the victor. You took the weapons of everybody that you've come up against and stacked it behind you to show people that you're not to be fucked with. Okay? So if, you know, I feel the earth signs are very powerful. When y'all want to fucking dig in and stay, you can. So you might, the Spirit is funny, they're like, you might outwit, outplay, outlast even this person. So let me eat my words a little bit and say, like, perhaps some of you are going to stand up for yourself so hard and work so well for yourself that maybe that person does get their comeuppance. So shut me up, Spirit. That's what I'm hearing. Enjoy what's good in your life. Feel free to ditch what is shit in your life. Also, you don't have to like cut people out, but you could certainly detach. And you could certainly be like, I'm not going to respond to this. I'm not going to respond to this. This isn't worth responding to. That's all I'm saying. Okay. All right. Now, I'm hearing air signs. So, let's talk. I hope that that is helpful, earth signs. So, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, from the tangible to the ephemeral. Spirit, want to tune in for air sign dominant people. Sun, Moon, Rising or Dominant, Air, People, Spirit, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Spirit, we want to know from your high perspective, what theme do air signs want to be on the lookout for this week? What brings them the best chance at peace, fulfillment, abundance, etc.? And Spirit, let's look at their money. The money, skills, jobs, resources, opportunities for air sign people. Beautiful. Okay. Let's look at their own element. Hey, hey, it's Lexi. The mind, spirit, the words, the conversations, messages, communications, internal and external. For Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Interesting, interesting. Okay. And how about spirit, the realm of the heart? Feelings, connections, relationships, mood. The air signs. Okay. Interesting parallel here. And finally, let's look at their fire, their spark, their creativity, spirit. How are the air signs lighting it up this week? Okay. Interesting theme kind of running through this week. Okay. First card up for the air signs. You are having a wake-up call. You might have it today, but one way or another this week you are being awakened to a way in which you have been kind of zombieing through life. The dead rising up out of their coffins, called by the angels, right? So your eyes are being opened, and when the wake-up call of the universe goes off, it's understandable to want to go back to sleep, but is not the best course of action. This is actually, Spirit is like, we're asking you to wake up because there's a whole lot of potential here. And I'm hearing, it's not just wake up, it's wake up and make a commitment. Again, the wake-up call is like, I'm being told that if I do this, I can make this happen, right? So it's like, if I really apply myself to this skill, I feel like I could have this or do this or get there or whatever. And Spirit's like, yeah, you could. We are trying to tell you that you have a dream that you may have temporarily given up on, or maybe you just have never given yourself the chance to breathe life into it the way that you can now. But Spirit is like, seize the day. Carpe diem, motherfuckers. 8 of Pentacles. Put the pen to the paper. Put the feet to the road. Put whatever it is into action. 8 of Pentacles says if you put the work in on the place that you want to grow, the skill set or the physical strength or whatever it is, Pentacles, tangibles, money, I want to see my bank account grow. Well, putting time into your skills, and Spirit is saying for some of you that it's like, some of you are literally like, they're showing me the bank account because it's like, yeah, I'm learning how to invest, or I'm learning how to like whatever. And it's like, yeah, if you really put your mind to it, you could grow your money that way. That's just what I'm hearing. So when you hear the wake-up call and you are asked to commit, commit. For some people, this even looks like, and this is just what I'm hearing, like a morning routine. Like I've been feeling like I can't just roll out of bed and do whatever the fuck and have the great outcomes and the great growth. And Spirit's like, yeah, we agree. Like we want you to curate your day, curate your space. This is something that I'm hearing. There's a lot of potential for distraction. And that makes sense. Air sign people are kind of like famously easily distracted, right? Because we're up in the head and things move very fast in the head and not so fast on the ground, right? In the tangible. So we can, if we're not careful, get ahead of ourselves, get distracted, lose the plot, lose the point, have to start all over again. That's something that I'm hearing. So Spirit's like, if you have a daily commitment to something, if you are really curating your skills and your environment, you're going to see and feel the progress. Pentacles are tangible, okay? So you're going to be able to, again, hey, I couldn't lift this heavy last week, or hey, my sketches are getting way better than they were a month and a half ago, or whatever. Like I can see it, I can feel it. Or again, the money is going up. I can see it. It's right there. The number is showing me that I'm doing better. Potential for distraction. 5 of Wands. Potential to just fuck around rather than fucking around and finding out. So if you're going to fuck around and find out, okay? Not just batting your ideas around. And this is fun. This is fun, but you ever heard of a... How do I get around YouTube right now? A whole circle of jerks? If you know, you know. And we're going to move on. That's what I kind of feel with that Five of Wands. It's kind of that vibe, you know, where it's like people sitting around talking about how good their ideas are, or how they could do this and they could do that, and if they wanted to, they could do this and da-da-da-da-da. Feels like that. I also get very like social media vibes off of the Five of Wands, so the distraction could also just come off of like scrolling your phone. You know what I mean? Being stuck in an echo chamber. Or even the opposite, being stuck, locked in debates with people that have no substantive results or outcomes or positives, right? It's just a waste of time. So I just feel like don't waste your time. I feel like seize what is yours, take it, leave the battlefield, right? Like, I don't need to be doing this. I have literally more important and better things to do. There are better things that I could be doing with my mind, with my ideas, with my words, right? So watch out for distractions. Take yours and go do something with it. And again, I'm getting this feeling, maybe this is the Saturn square of Jupiter of it all, and the Saturn square, or I'm sorry, the Saturn conjunct Neptune of it all, where it's like, and you don't have to tell everybody that you're doing it. You don't need to announce the departure or the arrival. You could just go. You could just decide, I'm detaching from this and I'm going to start putting my energy over here instead, because I've done the audit of what's working for me and what's not. I got the wake-up call. I heard it. I believe it. I can't deny it. That's something about the Judgment card, is it's pretty fucking undeniable. It's like when the words hit your ears, Spirit is... Have you seen Kill Bill? Spirit's doing... Look. You can't deny it. It's right in your face, and it's blaring and it's glaring. So, when you know what you're done with, walk away from it. When you know whatever it is that is oversaturating your life, and you are waterlogged by this, I'm hearing a few things, okay? Again, I do feel like this leeching energy of potentially like the friend who always needs your help and your counsel, but is never there for you, vice versa, right? And like Spirit is even they're really reading somebody's friend, because they're like, and also you wouldn't even ask this friend for advice if you could, because you're like, they're a mess. Of course I'm not going to ask them for advice about my relationship or whatever. Like, no, I just feel like if you find yourself in a one-way relationship, whether you're the person who is taking always or you're the person who is giving always, either way, that's not healthy for either of you. So even if you're telling yourself, oh, but they can't live without me, they need me because I have to give them this, you are doing both of you a disservice. Period. You are sacrificing your life and your precious energy and your precious limited time as this particular soul on this particular planet, right, at this particular time. And you are not allowing them to face the truth of themselves, that like, hey, stop, I feel like you're really using me. You know, I'm wondering, this is a mirror. You're holding up a mirror for them. Like, I wonder if you remember the last time you asked me how I was doing. I wonder if you remember that actually, like, I went through this really terrible thing a couple months ago and you've never even asked me about it, and yet you're coming to me crying about like you got a flat tire. Meanwhile, my mom died a couple months ago or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I'm hearing. And I'm sorry if that hits anybody right in the pancreas or whatever. Like, that's just what I'm hearing. It's like, it's that level of, damn dude, you're over here crying that you got a B and I flunked out of school. That's what I'm fucking feeling. So if you have somebody like that in your life, I feel like just be discerning. How much time do you need or want to spend with that person? Sorry to them. That's their best option for fucking recognizing that, like, if they don't stop acting like this is what's going to happen with every person in their life. Okay? So if anything, don't feel bad about walking away from situations that are not good for you. It is literally good for both people when you do that. Even if they hate it and they're like, no, and I'm going threats and my... Walk away. Conserve your energy. This is never going to get the emotional payoff that you want it to. That's just what I'm hearing. Got a couple different cards for walk away. And you've also got a couple of different eights that say there's tremendous growth available, but you have to choose it and you have to work it. Hey. Okay. Choose it, work it, and choose what you don't want to work, fight for, jerk in the circle about. Okay, jerkle. All right, let's talk to the water signs. I hope that that is helpful, air signs. I hope that helps you make the most of the week and spot useless interaction ahead of time and save yourself the time, the trouble, and the mental bandwidth, the genius, you know? Like, save your genius for yourself. More no-brainers. Okay. So let's talk to the House of Cups. Let's talk to Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces people. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Dominant people, Spirit. Want to know what is showing up? Wow, that just hopped right out. Okay, what's showing up? What do the water signs need to be aware of for their highest good? And how about Spirit when it comes to their money, skills, resources? Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, what do they need to know? Okay, we're already seeing a pattern here. This is interesting. Okay, and Spirit, how about when it comes to the mind? The words, the sorts of thoughts, the atmosphere. Spirit is funny. Can I spoiler you really quick? Spirit was like, atmosphere, F-E-A-R. Like, that was what they spat out as this popped out. So listen, you can't blame me for these puns. They're doing it to me. Okay, we're going to talk about it. Don't worry. We're going to talk about it. All right. The emotions, Spirit, the heart. For Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. How are the water sign people feeling about their own cups? What do they need to know for their highest good? That's wild. Okay, Spirit pulled 2. You get 2. That is really interesting. Okay, finally, Spirit, their fire, their inner light, their creativity, their spirit. What is lighting up the water signs? Attack of the Fives. This reading is called the Attack of the Fives. Okay, water signs, you have a beautiful card for the week, the Lovers. This is about integration. This is about honoring all parts of yourself. There's a reason we have a triangle here, right? And we have the quote-unquote masculine, the feminine, and the androgynous angel. Mind, body, spirit, etc. All working together, all working in union and in unison. What passionate choice do you need to make? What do you want to align yourself with? That's the way that Spirit is using this phrase. I'm gonna immediately go over here to the atmosphere that Spirit was talking about. Fear of making the wrong decision. I could go this way or I could go that way, but I know that if I go this way, like it cuts me off from going that way, and I'm afraid of that. And, you know, that's kind of commitment phobic. That's just something that I'm hearing. So there might be some water signs that are feeling like this sense of like, I know I'm supposed to do this, or like I feel like I'm, you know, being called over here. Maybe some of you have air sign placements and you have that judgment card that's kind of flashing and saying, this is the wake-up call, is that you need to make this choice and you need to make this commitment, right? And you don't want to get it wrong. You don't want to get it wrong, but let me tell you what, water signs, ignoring your feelings, her back is to the ocean. She is only holding her swords, right? She doesn't even trust her eyes and ears. She is so stuffed with information that she couldn't possibly take any more in. Your mind is not what is going to get you through knowing which commitment to make or which passionate choice is standing in front of you, asking you to seize it. You have to uncross your swords. You have to pull the blindfold off. And you know what? Spirit is saying you're allowed to fumble and stumble toward ecstasy. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to make a choice, wander down the path, go, oh, that wasn't it, and then move away from it. They're telling me something else that they brought up. I feel like it was maybe even last week. When we are attracted to something, a person, a hobby, a place, whatever, that is our soul calling us towards something. Like there is something in that for us. Now, that person that we're attracted to, all they might hold for us is a big ass heartbreak and a fat fucking lesson, right? Sometimes that is the case, and it's like, damn, God made him sexy, so I would just had to get that lesson. Like, I just couldn't resist getting that lesson, right? Because sometimes that's how it has to work. And just because that person gave you the heartbreak and did not turn out to be, that was the love of my life, and that's why they shone in my eyes, or that's why the sex was so incredible. No, it was actually because the lesson needed to come packaged in this, right? And just because it's not the end-all be-all, the thing that you got from them is the end-all be-all that moved you over here in this direction. Oh, I got my heart broken in this particular way. I recognized that I have this particular pattern. I broke from that pattern, and that put me ultimately on the road of that love of my life soulmate that I was hoping I was seeing and feeling in this person in the first place. Do you feel me? Same way the job might feel like, oh my God, this is it. This is going to be great for me. You get into it. You find out like, nope, it wasn't the end all be all. I don't even care for it. But you met your best friend, or the manager that is going to get laid off and is going to move and start their own business and be like, hey, I want to hire you. You're amazing. Things do not move in straight lines. Things curve and swerve and spiral on this planet, okay? If it was all binary, like we wouldn't be having these readings. We would know exactly what to do, right? All the time. Don't trust your mind. Don't use only your mind. Bring your body into it. Bring your emotions into it. Bring your soul and divination into it. Pull out that deck that you hardly ever use, because usually you just listen to the weird people on the internet and let them do it. Sit with your deck, ask yourself the question, and pull the card. Is this a good decision? Look at the card. What does it say to you? What does it make you feel? Okay? Not just immediately go into the book. What does it say? What does it make me feel? What is this image rhyming with or kicking off in my mind, right? What kind of visions is it showing me? That's just what I'm hearing. Your head is not the place to do the work this week. Because it feels like Spirit is showing me a pros and cons list where it's like, well, they look equal. But just because the number of things that you've written down is equal, if one is like, he kicks my dog, and the other side is like, he brings me flowers. It's like, well, who gives a shit if he brings me flowers? He kicks my fucking dog. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. I'm just saying calculating is not it. It's the feel. Okay? So we have the Lovers, which is number 6. And we have 6 of Pentacles, flow. This week is about flow as opposed to stoppage, as opposed to be stopped up. 6 of Pentacles says give and receive generously. So which end are you on? Are you a person who is like, I am so beyond blessed. Like, I have this great job and I love where I live and I have all these people and I have so much. Like, I just feel so blessed. I don't even know what to do with it. Share that. Share that with somebody, whether that's just sharing a kind word and goodwill, or it's like, this person does really cool stuff, or this organization does amazing things. I'm going to throw them some of this great money that I have, or whatever, or I'm going to use some of my time and I'm going to phone bank for this organization or this whatever. Like, give, right? Give and you shall receive in abundance, right? And conversely, if you are in need, if you find yourself this week on, like, I'm not so much this person as I am this person's available. this person, this goodwill, this generosity is available to you. Are you willing to ask? No one's asking you to get on your knees, okay? This is just to demonstrate the flow of the universe. Sometimes we're on top, sometimes we're on bottom, right? And there's no shame in being on the bottom, okay? There is no shame in being the one that needs sometimes. Money is meant to flow. Emotions are meant to flow. So ask for what you need. It's available to you. And give what you have. You will have it replaced and more. That's just what I'm hearing. So generosity. And this is a very heartfelt week. And I mean, we're talking to the water signs, so that makes a lot of sense. They don't do it any other way. So moving over to your emotions. This is where 2 cards popped out. Very interesting. If you were here for the day-by-day forecast, then you know that both of these cards showed up, and even in this order, in the day-by-day forecast, where the 5 of Cups preceded the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups was the ultimate result, right? So there is a disappointment this week, plain and simple. That's just what this is like, damn, that didn't work out. I really wanted that to work out. So 3 of your cups spill over, disappointment, but there is still good things in your life. And crucially, we have a bridge right over this troubled water over into the city. Your life is definitely not over. Take the time to mourn what you need to mourn. I don't think it will be much time before you are feeling the joy of like, damn, and this is what Spirit is saying, when I willingly let go what is not enough for me, what is not befitting of me, etc., I make room for all of it. And that resonates quite nicely with this Lover's card of like, we need to make a choice. We need to make a choice of whether we're going to say, yeah, okay, I can make this enough. Yeah, okay, no, this is just how it is. Or if we'll say, actually, this might be telling me that there's more and better out there for me. That if this didn't work out, maybe, rejection is redirection and all of that shit. And God is opening a window somewhere, throwing some fresh air into your life and saying, climb out, bitch, climb out. We've got more out here for you. Please don't get stuck there. So the disappointment is not the end. And again, we had that disappointment card pop up in the daily forecast. So it could even be somewhere around that Wednesday day where it's like, damn, I thought I was going to get offered that job and I didn't. Or damn, I thought that this person was going to turn out to be somebody this is just what I'm hearing. Went on a couple dates with this person, really liked them. Damn, they sent me the text or they gave me the call to say like, hey, I really like you, but it's not working out, or I'm not really feeling it or whatever. And it's like, damn. And Spirit is like, please do not think that that is the end of it. 10 of Cups. You are going to be replenished. Oh, I appreciate you, Jay. This is just a collective reading. These are not individual readings right now, but I hear you. I appreciate you. And I'm sure Spirit does have a message for you. Looking at your fire, your spark, your creativity, potential to get distracted, potential to fight and for things to go nowhere. That is just what I'm hearing. Okay? To get stuck thinking like there's only, this is something I'm hearing is like, there's only 2 ways to do this. That's something that I'm hearing in Spirit is like, that is not true. So do not get so distracted by like, look, this is something else that I'm hearing. Spirit's like, if you are looking at the way that everybody else is doing it, and you're like trying to do it the way that everybody else is doing it, you're ultimately going to end up feeling confused and disappointed and like, well, fuck, like, how do I even move forward? You have to move forward like you. Mind, body, and soul. You have to move together in tandem. Okay? So, if a disappointment comes, don't allow yourself to be distracted or to believe that that is it. Your cups will be refilled, and they will be refilled by something that is more fitting of you. But you do have to decide whether you're willing to accept like this limited situation. And this is just another way that Spirit is putting it. I'm dating this person. I really like them. Like I'm practically falling for them, right? But they keep telling me like, oh yeah, this is just something light. This is like, I really enjoy hanging out with you. Oh yeah, where do you see this going? Oh, I don't know. I'm just having fun right now. If you allow yourself to get restricted to that, I feel that ultimately you will be like quite disappointed. And like the 10 of Cups will come around, but I feel like you can save yourself a little bit of heartache by going, you know what? This has been really fun, but I can see that you're not really ready to commit, and I'm really looking for that commitment. So I need to go ahead and call this so that I have that space in my life and in my heart and in my mind, like the bandwidth to be able to welcome in someone new. Okay? Okay. Just what I'm hearing. Just what I'm hearing. Looks like actually tremendous potential with that 10 of Cups and that 6 of Pentacles. Things could go really beautifully and you could feel extremely actually replenished and overjoyed. That's the 10 of Cups. So from disappointed to overjoyed is pretty fucking good. Okay. Now, finally, I made the most fast moving and potentially impatient of the elements. Wait till the last. My apologies, fire signs. It's your time. Let's go. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Ooh, the fiery folk spirit. The sparklers of the zodiac. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Dominant People Spirit. We want to know what you want to bring their awareness to for their highest good. What do the fire signs need to know or do or embrace in order to have the best week possible? Okay, very cool to start with. Now, Spirit, what about their money? Jobs, resources, skills. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius people spirit. What do they need to know for their highest good, for their security and abundance? All right. Seeing a pattern here. Looking at their mind. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What kind of words, messages, thoughts? What is the weather? What is the climate? Okay. Okay. And now, Spirit, emotionally. Want to know the feelings, the nature of the feelings, connections, relationships. The realm of the heart for the fire signs. Okay. And finally, Spirit, their own element, their fire, their spark, creativity, their light. Spirit, how are the fire signs being lit up this week? A choice. That's the dominant energy here. There's a very important choice that you want to make, and don't rush. Don't rush this decision. Hey, Linda, happy to see you. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius people. It's funny, I said, like, damn, I made y'all wait for the last moment, and you are the most quote-unquote impatient of all of the elements, right? Fire burns, fire goes. It can't be stopped. And the High Priestess is asking you to pause, to actually sit, to observe, to play your cards a little closer to your chest than you are typically used to as, you know, this forthright, honest, even bombastic fire person. But you have a decision to make. You got a couple of cards here indicating, do I go here? Do I go there? Do I stick with what I have already established? We can see that this wand is freestanding. It's planted in the ground. You've already grown this. And here, this one is in her hand. She could take this somewhere. Do I want to stick with what I've built, or do I want to go somewhere? She's looking at the GPS like, I could go over here. I am kind of tempted to see if there's something more interesting and exotic out there for me. Rhyming energy over here with the Seven of Pentacles. Do I want to continue with what I have already begun to grow? Or do I want to make a different decision? I've got a couple of things in front of me. This one or that one, this one or that one. It's not an either or. That's something that I'm hearing. And I'm also hearing you don't want to make this decision based strictly on, like, for example, that pros and cons list that Spirit was showing me earlier. You don't want to make a decision based on that. The High Priestess says more information is going to become available. There are missing pieces to this puzzle that are going to be floating into place, coalescing in front of you. So if when you think about making this decision or taking this step or whatever this is, if you start to get all like anxious or even excited and it's like, I want to bolt, I want to go, I want to do this, because Spirit is saying, like, most fire signs are not the people that you would want to like play chess, right? Because they just want to move. They just want to make a move. They just want to get it over with. And it's like the whole point of chess is to sit back and calmly observe and strategize, right? Not like go, 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 go. So Spirit is saying, we need you to play chess. While other people around you might be playing checkers this week, we need you to play chess. We need you to be looking a few moves ahead. We need you to not leave any of the like options off of the board. Now what Spirit is showing me is like a writer's room, right? Like we're writing a comedy show. So we have a writer's room, we got the big table, we got the chairs all around, and we have a gigantic whiteboard. All of it stays on the whiteboard. Even, it's like there are no bad ideas. Like whatever you are like, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. Keep it all on the fucking whiteboard. And just watch. Just observe quietly. Say less. Don't communicate with everybody about this choice or this project or this thing. Keep it to yourself. I feel like there's going to be a time to bring people into it, but that time is not now. You have to sort out for yourself, what's it worth? Am I feeling like I'm getting the returns for the investment that I'm putting in to this relationship, to this job, to this thing that I'm trying to build? Is it growing in the direction that I want it to? And do I need to make a different decision? Am I bored of what I've been doing and I really want to strike out on a new path? Sit, say less, do some divining. Again, I said it earlier and I'm hearing it again, is like, you might, generally speaking, get readings off of the internet or whatever, but maybe you have a deck of oracle cards or a deck of tarot cards somewhere in your house. It would be a good idea, with the High Priestess as your main card for this week, to carve out some quiet time to sit with your intuition. And here's something about your intuition. Even though it takes place internally, it is not the same as thinking. It's not the same as analyzing and logicking and like looking at all those things on the whiteboard and starting to try to eliminate them or analyze them. The reason they're all on the whiteboard is even just by staring at them long enough, they might, like, you ever, like, Spirit is showing me somebody like staring into space and like they're getting bored, maybe they're even getting sleepy. It's like the professor's droning on and on. It's a little bit hypnotic and things start to kind of blur together. And Spirit's saying the ideas or the concepts that are on your whiteboard might start to blur together and you're suddenly like, eureka. If I put this here and put that there, I have a whole new thing. And that's just what I'm hearing. So it's like, and this is what Spirit is showing me, is the Magician card right after that. So it's like letting things float around and then coalesce. You might have some synthesis that happens. So I'll be curious to see if like next week y'all get the Magician or something like that. Because that's what Spirit is showing me, is like there is a brilliant idea that's going to pop out. But right now you're still assimilating data. Okay, I like that she is sitting here with her laptop. She's like, I'm taking this all down. I'm not missing a thing. I'm taking it all down, but I'm sitting. I'm chilling. I'm not moving until the moon tells me to move, until my intuition tells me to move. Okay? I said that there's going to come a point where you want to bring other people into this decision, into like, okay, what do you guys think? How do you guys feel about this? Do you think this is a good idea? That time will come. You're a little in your head. When you get a little bit into your head, that's when I feel like it's time to bring in the people that you really care about and that really care about you and that see you, that support you. 3 of Cups is celebrating with friends. It's also people with, like, we share a cause or we share a joy. Like, oh, we all get to, Spirit's funny, but it's like we all get together to watch Love Island every week and we have our wine and we watch Love Island or whatever. It's like, that's funny, but that's what Spirit is saying with one group of people. And Spirit is saying with these people, you might be able to share some of your fears and they might be able to help you take your blindfold off. And Spirit's like, it feels dangerous to say this to the fire signs, but this is what I'm hearing. It might benefit you once you feel solid and safe and high priestess like within yourself of like, I'm not going to run, I'm not going to jump, I'm not going to jump the gun, I'm not going to go off half cocked, like I'm going to stay right where I am until I know, like I can feel it in my bones, in my heart, in my soul. No part of me is disagreeing with any other part, right? Not like my heart wants to do this, but my mind's telling me he's an asshole or whatever. No, it's like we are all together. That's when I'm going to move. Spirit is saying, this is the dangerous thing to say to a fire sign. Spirit is saying, if you get stuck and you start believing your fears more than your abilities and your skills, that's when you bring in your friends and you let them help you get back to being high on your own supply. That's what they said. So maybe some fire signs are feeling a little bit uncharacteristically quiet, or maybe uncharacteristically hesitant or unsure. And Spirit is like, A, it's not a problem. You're in a high priestess moment. You're actually meant to be a little bit quiet and a little bit pondering. But when the time is right, your friends are going to help you get back to your old, wait a minute, yeah, what was I hesitating for? I'm amazing. I'm going to do this. We're going to do this. Like, and fuck yeah, you're going to do this. So that's what I feel. When you have truly sorted out, okay, I know what even just like I know what the decision is. It's either stay or go, or it's start this or start that or whatever. That's when you can bring in your friends and be like, okay, what do you guys think? Or bring it even to, yeah, I want to make a distinction that I don't mean bring this idea to social media. I don't mean bring this idea to Reddit and ask people. I mean bring it to your 2 or 1 or 3 closest friends and say, when you think about me and what I'm doing, do you ever notice places where I'm holding myself back? Do you think I'm hesitating? Do you think I'm missing something? Is there a way that I could be moving forward in a more bold and satisfying way? I feel like you have some pretty brilliant friends, fire signs. That's something that Spirit is saying. You have some pretty brilliant friends, and they can help you see things in a new way. So invite them in when you know, okay, that your inner sanctum is unshakable. So it's like if you know, for example, oh man, I need to leave this person. Damn, I really don't want to, but I need to leave this person. And then you bring in your friends and you ask them, and you already have your unshakable knowledge. Even if one of your friends is a pick-me and they're like, no, you guys have been together forever. Don't leave him behind. He can change. Blah, blah, blah. But you're like, I'm unshakable. And the other 2 friends are like, yeah, you should leave. The other person disagreeing or seeing it a different way is only going to actually help you feel firmer in your purpose, because it serves as distinctions. Like, I definitely don't feel that way. That does not resonate with me. When they say that to me, it just doesn't resonate. It just doesn't ring true. So become unshakable and unfuckwithable by coming to your own conclusions. And then if you, again, are afraid you have any little blind spots, things that you're missing, bring in your people. And even if they are incorrect, they will help you feel more correct in what you know. That's just what I'm hearing. It's kind of a funky, interesting, groovy message. Again, as a Leo ascendant person, I'm going to be on the lookout for this. Interesting reading this week. Jupiter square Saturn. Remember, y'all. And Saturn conjunct Neptune. Big dreams can actually begin to be built. Be discerning. Take it slow. Work with what you have and not with what you, like the imaginary things that you want. Work with what is here and let the universe show you, hey, when you really work with what is here and you harness all those abilities you have, that growth is going to just fucking snap into place, okay? Okay. Y'all take care. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, as always, to the mods for keeping the space clean and safe and fun. I appreciate you, and I will catch y'all next Saturday. Till then.